welcome to the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! You are not advertiser friendly. You had one job, everybody. You had one job. And that's the best you guys could do. Actually, it was a tie, and I had to break the tie. Yeah. Yeah, anyways. I won't get further into that. Anyway, so tonight, the first episode, the beginning of this roller coaster of murder and mayhem, of blood, breasts, and beast. That is the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, year number 7. My God, it's been such a long amount of time, and yet it feels like it hasn't been. But, oh man. What can we expect from year 7? Well, of course, more of the same. Horror. And I said horror, not horror, okay? Anyways, so tonight, we are kicking it off by fulfilling a request for this movie, Dellamorte Dellamore, otherwise known as Cemetery Man. Anyways, this movie is an Italian, French, German, my God, it's just a whole kind of bunch of European stuff going there. Co-production, starring Rupert Everett and directed by Michael Salvi, I can't pronounce his name, whatever, anyways. Same guy who directed Stage Fright Aquarius. Anyways, so what is this movie about? Well, it is about a caretaker of a cemetery in Italy and his kind of somewhat mute, I mean not mute, he just speaks in stuff like that, sidekick, and just, their everyday life, having to watch over the cemetery, have to dig graves, have to kill zombies that come back to life after a couple days, deal with the same old shit, different day, city bureaucracy. Oh wait, did I say zombies, dead people coming back to life? Oh, that's right, this is what's happening. It just so nonchalantly happens to be that when people die and get buried in this cemetery, they come back shortly thereafter. And of course, the only way to deal with them is to either split their head open or shoot them in the head. And, well, he's got a gun and he does just that. I mean, there's a lot of nonchalant, casual violence in this movie, but it's more of a horror comedy, per se. I would say it's more Shaun of the Dead than I would say Day of the Dead. So, anyway, so what happens? So, he's living his life, shooting some zombies in the head. He's kind of annoyed by it. He's trying to see if there's any way to, investigate it. Of course, to get the mayor's attention, you have to fill out, an M3 little paperwork, and God knows, it's a lot easier just to shoot zombies in the head than fill out paperwork. By the way, even if he did get, the mayor's attention, they might have to shut down the cemetery, and then he'd be out of the job, and, unemployment sucks. So why not just, deal with it the old-fashioned way, with your 6-shooter and your trusty spade, right? Anyways, so blah blah, living his mundane life, killing zombies and cleaning up after himself, and there's this beautiful woman attending a funeral. He is smitten and awestruck by her beauty. I mean, she is a really good looker, that's for sure. And he worries that he may never see her again. Of course, she comes back to visit, and we find out that her husband, who's much older, and so we probably have some sugar daddy thing going on there, anyways, has been the one to pass away. And so she's there to lay flowers at the grave. And of course, he tries to talk to her because he's just enamored. And of course, you know what happens when you're enamored and you try to talk to someone that you don't know for the first time. You screw it up. Of course, that's what he did. He totally just biffed it. I mean, it was horrible. It's like, oh, how long has he been dead? Oh, a couple of weeks. Oh, thank God. I mean, it was great. It's great because he's not gonna probably come back, because, you know, that might be just too long. I didn't mean it was great that he's dead because I'm trying to, like, you know, get in your pants or nothing. That's not what, yeah, you're going away. Okay, well, have a good day. Come back anytime. We're open, during the day. Fuck me. Oh my God, what did I do? Anyways. So, but she does return, and of course, you know, she gets very interested when being shown the ossuary. Oh man, I guess she gets turned on by gropey skeletons, and just some very weird stuff starts happening in this movie. And I don't want to get further into the plot, but because the plot really kind of just goes all over the place, and it's a weird film. So let's get into those scores, okay? Right, so violence and gore, I am gonna give it a 3 out of 5. There is some nice head explosions, a lot of gunshots to the head, and some decent throat ripping and skin tearing. So, you know, you've got your standard zombie fare along with what seems to be more like Death Wish kind of toward the end of the film, but you'll see what I'm saying when you watch this movie. Anyways, so 3 out of 5. Shock value, 1.5 out of 5. Really, most of the shock is just the pure insanity that's going on and some of the comedy. But yeah, there is a few scattered scares in this movie, but like I said, it's more Shaun of the Dead than Day of the Dead, so I mean, not really like a fright fest. So 1.5 out of 5. Plot, okay, this is the weakest part of the movie. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. I know there will be some people who go, no, the plot is brilliant. It's about life, death, loss, you know, the psychology of man and stuff like this. Like, well, it might be that, but it does a piss poor job of actually, you know, being coherent. It is definitely a fever dream of a movie. It's first of all, it also kind of meanders. It's slow at times, and you kind of like get this like, come on, get on with it type of feel, which is never a good thing when you're watching a movie. And honestly, like, the narrative kind of shrivels and falls apart. We have things that they very much don't explain things that are going on. I mean, the woman that he loves keeps showing up as different people. We've got unclear rules about like zombie love. I mean, it's great in certain times. We have a decapitated head that seems to be able to move on its own, defying the laws of physics, but then again, we're also defying the law of nature by coming back to life. But it's just a lot of strangeness and the whole thing that kind of just unravels, and the ending is just what really okay. So I mean, it's definitely trying to be deep and artsy, but I think it fails because it is just way too abstract and all over the place, and is not very, there's nothing really to hold it together, and it's just crazy and insane. But you might like that. I found it to be a little bit pretentious in that sort of vein. So anyways, 2 out of 5. I mean, I could have given it lower, but I'm being very forgiving here. So acting, I am giving it a 3 out of 5. Rupert Everett does a great job. You know, he's the guy who's carrying this film. All the other ancillary actors, I mean, his caretaker buddy does a great job emoting just through facial expressions and how he grunts. So that's a really pretty good job. Everyone else is really weird. But then again, it's one of those situations because it's one of those movies where how do we explain this? A lot of times with Italian films, everyone, the director will have everyone do their lines in their native language, and then wherever, like if, you know, the English-speaking audience, they'll overdub all the Italian people and vice versa. And so you know, you get that kind of, you know, weird American, you know, Italian voice dubbing, which sometimes is a little jarring, and it makes it weird to try to judge how the acting is. But yeah, the voice acting does leave a little to be desired. However, it's not horrible, but I can't give it like super high score. So anyways, 3 out of 5 for the acting. Nudity, we're giving it a 3 out of 5. We do definitely get to see an ample amount of his love interest's body. She has some beautiful, beautiful assets. And for you ladies out there, you do get to see a bit of Rupert himself. So there you go, ladies. I mean, not as much as the lady, but, you know, hey, take what you can get sometimes, right? Anyways, so I'm giving it a solid 3 out of 5. I mean, it's not all over the place, but it's definitely a healthy helping of it. So anyways, 3 out of 5. So now my enjoyment factor, I am going to give it a 3 out of 5. It is a great concept. It is funny throughout the movie. It's not one of those laugh out loud, but it's one of those, you know, smile and giggle type of comedies. But it's just so strange that I can't really give it like anything higher, because it does meander at points. It loses its narrative. I mean, the violence is fun and it's crazy, and there are moments in there that you're just like, oh my god, that's awesome, that's cool. But it's just it's not woven together well enough to merit a higher score. So in a way, you're sort of like, yeah, it's got some memorable moments, but I don't know if it just has like everything going for it to make it like a truly epic movie. So anyways, 3 out of 5. And my overall impression is 2.5 out of 5. Honestly, if it could have done a better job with the narrative, maybe answer a little bit of questions, don't be so cryptic, or maybe even have a little bit more tie to reality. Also, pace it a bit better, and it probably would score a bit higher, but instead, I did find myself kind of, you know, getting a little bored with it at times, and the ending is just such a mess going on toward the end. I mean, it's enjoyable, and yet it's like a little bit annoying too. So I'm sorry, 2.5 out of 5, and that averages out to be 2.6 out of 5. So there you have it, Dellamorte Dellamore. I always mix those two up. Anyways, I hope you liked the review, and if you've seen the movie, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Did you like the movie? Do you think it was the greatest movie of all time? After all, oh my gosh, that's what happens. You're going to see that a lot as we go on through these 31 nights. You're going to see me get less and less energy and less coherent. Anyways, but yeah, or you know, say that you totally agree and you think that it's a good movie, but it's got some problems and it doesn't really do enough to overcome some of those problems to be like truly great. Anyways, I enjoyed the film. I liked it. It's disappointing in some aspects, and like I said, a little slow, but I think it might be something worth checking out. Of course, it is not a scary movie, so if you're looking for something to scare you, this might not be it. But if you're looking for something offbeat, weird, pretty violent, has some nice tits, and you know, you can laugh at, there you go, Cemetery Man, otherwise Dellamorte Dellamore. And this is the end of the first night. We've got 30 more to go. My goodness, I've survived at least this far. So anyways, until later, everyone, I will see you, and stay scary, internet.